Welcome to episode 5 of the Valley Boys. I am your host, Dave Weasel. Let's get this shit over with. I am sick as fuck. And I'm unfortunately joined with my co-host, a.k.a. my assistant. He's downgraded again.
What'd I do this time?
I need an assistant while I'm sick. I need you to go to the store and get me some medicine and soup.
Okay.
So that's why you've been downgraded. That's your punishment.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, fucking asshole. Me being sick. Yeah, I got we all thought it was a man cold, but it turns out it's just pneumonia.
God, what a little bitch. So that means.
You know what? I'm probably still going to die anyway. It sure feels like it.
So just out of curiosity, like, when you die, do you want me to take care of your daughter?
What? Fuck no. No, dude. What are you gonna teach her? So here's how you sneak liquor into the movie theater when she's like 8. No.
Well, I figure you'd want her to turn out just like Dad.
No.
Oh, yeah,
The opposite.
You actually wonder.
I'm gonna hide as much of this filth from her as I can. But no, I don't want you looking after my daughter. I don't even want you looking after my cats. You know what you can do?
What?
If I die, Brandon, will you do me the honor of looking after my PlayStation?
I'll be happy to do that. I'll look after it right down to the pawn shop.
You know what you got to do? You got to look after those fucking games I lent you that I never got back. You ever do that? You ever lend games to people and they don't bring them back?
Well,
that's you. Well, not you, because you just take them and don't bring them back.
Yeah, but I'm like 11 houses down, dude, so it's cool. You can get them anytime.
Yeah, I guess.
Mi casa, su casa.
Right. Okay. Intro song.
Dave, Brandon, Dave, Brandon, damn it. I didn't say you said that, Dave.
I didn't say you said I said that, Brandon.
Libtard,
Conservative.
that's it, I'm doing it.
Don't you dare fart my microphone.
The Valley Boys.
You see how fucking dedicated I am to this shit? Sitting out here sick, still doing it, still podcasting with you.
Well, yeah, but in fairness, we'd still be sitting out here together drinking. It's just now you get to rant into a microphone like a crazed asshole.
Oh, well, that's the whole concept of podcasting. Isn't that weird? How at some point, whether you're a podcaster or a stand-up comedian, at some point we've all decided I am so fucking funny that I need to stand in front of people with a microphone and everybody needs to hear it.
Oh, yeah, I'm a goddamn national treasure already after 4 episodes.
That's so fucked up, dude. But you weren't a national treasure at Buffalo Wild Wings when we went there. Shout out to that police helicopter buzzing above us right now in my backyard in Reseda, California.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, 5-0.
Well, at least we can bring people a little bit of L.A. to the podcast. We told them all the fucking police chases end up here, and here they fucking go. They're after somebody again.
Yeah, we did in the first episode.
Yeah.
Talking about how, this is where police chases go to die.
We
We made it to Reseda.
We
Game over. Insert coin, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we will not lie to our audience. We might beat you, but we won't cheat you.
But then at Buffalo Wild Wings, we get in the fucking Uber on the way over there. So we decided to go there for a drink.
Oh, God damn it. I think
Happy hour.
I know where this is going.
Get in the Uber.
Yeah.
And Brandon was too fat for the seatbelt. Couldn't fit in it.
Well, I would have got the seatbelt on if it wasn't
They had to strap him to the roof.
for the fat. You fuck.
I might be making that last part up, but yeah.
Jesus
he was too
Christ.
fat for the seatbelt.
Well, yeah, because
So
I would have buckled the frame. They put me on the roof.
we're gonna put Brandon on the keto diet. That's what I was on. Oh, dude, I was on that from September 17th until whatever, Thanksgiving. And
You're a sick man, Dave.
I dropped 17 pounds, and I'm pretty sure I gained every single one of them back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I just went back to my old ways, you know?
right.
What, nachos for breakfast? Cool. Pie in the shower? Awesome. What's a little birthday cake before bed, you know?
Right. Yeah,
Someone's birthday.
Somewhere.
So yeah, I wanted to talk, but at least I fit in the seatbelt, dude. That's bad. That's like getting on an airplane and needing to buy 2 seats. That's you. When you get an Uber, it's always you plus a guest, you know?
Dave. There,
You can't take Uber Pool.
Well, no, and that's the only reason I pay for yours is so you can help me put the seatbelt on. Judgmental fuck.
Yeah, well, that's how we roll, man. So yeah, we rolled over to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'm out there. I go out for a cigarette because I'm a disgusting fuck.
Yes.
And I start coughing and gagging like I do because I'm sick. And this dude, this like 20-year-old guy, he's with a bunch of his buddies. He's like, "Hey man, you all right? Maybe you should quit smoking."
Yeah,
he doesn't mean anything by it. You know, he's just a kid. And I said, "Mind your own cocksucker." I like combined mind your own business and just calling him a cocksucker and said, "Mind your own cocksucker." I was like, I just turned away. I knew that they were going to say something. Like, they were like, okay, what a dick. What an old piece of shit, 35-year-old dick. You know, and I was in a foul mood already, so whatever. I go back into Buffalo Wild Wings, and they had the lobby in there, or like the main entrance area, was just packed.
Yeah,
right? Everybody, it was
fucking normal
during a playoff game, and holy shit, I wasn't having it. I get in there, people blocking the way. I'm like, excuse me, cough, cough on them. You know, I'm just a fucking evil villain at this point, spreading around biohazard, and I walk over to. I finally make it out of there, out of that entranceway, and I had to fart, and I just pushed it out. It went like it was like a box fart, you know. I just turned around back at them, not embarrassed, nothing, just yeah. No, that's your problem. And that's what sickness does to you. It makes you a miserable old fuck where you don't care about what you say to people, where you fart. And like that's biochemical warfare, dude. Between coughing and farting and everything, like everybody in there got sick.
Oh yeah, or pink eye, one of the two.
Right. That's why they try and keep us foreigners out. So like we don't know what disease they're gonna bring in. And then I come in coughing and farting on everybody.
Yeah, and the next thing you know, they have fucking airborne ringworms, and it gets in their brain and fucking eats it alive.
No doubt. But I regret doing that. If you were one of the people at the Northridge Buffalo Wild Wings who was farted on by some asshole, that was literally that was me, and I apologize. So moving on with our lives, they forgive me. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
They don't really have a choice.
Forget and forgive.
Right. Mind your own cocksucker. So we're sitting in my backyard drinking, which you're not technically supposed to do when you're sick, but here we are. Black Velvet whiskey, $5 for a 60-ounce barrel of it. But you know what? Alcohol kills germs, right? So I need to kill some germs. So drinking alcohol will kill germs, like science.
Yeah. No, it's exactly
right,
science.
Bill Nye?
Well, they call it Grandpa's cough syrup for a reason, because it's medicine.
Right, exactly. So that's the angle we're taking with this. I don't have a problem. Maybe you have a problem. But we had asked you, the internet. We're recording a pod tonight. Dave is sick, but we'll be drunk. Thanks, Brandon. What's the dumbest thing you did while drunk? Losers will have their stories read out, and winners will be blocked. Nice. We got nothing but stupid answers, though.
Shocker.
One guy, he's like, got naked, ran through a bar full of people carrying a boombox on my shoulder playing The Stroke by Billy Squier.
I don't know if that's dumb or completely fucking amazing.
Or completely made up, but maybe it's true. But I don't know. That's not a story. That's just a cartoon. This one girl says, we went to a church Christmas party in our hometown, got completely hammered, kept yelling overly aggressive, vulgar things at each other. So before they decided to throw us out, we stumbled out. Now my mom makes me go to Bible study every Wednesday. That's not a crazy drunk story, you know. We got to ask these questions further in advance, not like right as we're doing the pod.
Punishment doesn't even... Yeah, the punishment doesn't even fit the crime for that. Jesus.
You know, like tomorrow we're going to have so many good answers on this, but whatever. So one guy says, shit, I have too many. One I could think of is throwing up in one of my boots because I didn't know where the bathroom was at the place I was passed out.
That sounds like...
Had to wear the boot to work the next day.
That sounds like a drunk story equivalent of the questions that we had for our first hypothetical. It's like, oh, if you could have dinner with somebody, you know, who the hell would you do? That's like a stereotypical drunk answer. I puked in a boot.
Right, yeah. Well, I asked him, what do you do for work? How'd you deal with the boo? What did everyone say? And he goes, I worked in the kitchen, and I wore it into work. It was my only option. I washed it out before I went in, but I still had a wet, gross boot all day. No one really noticed the smell, I guess, but if they asked why I had one wet foot, I just said, you don't want to know. But like, whatever. Okay, we're committed to this gag, so we're going to keep going.
I don't. God damn it, people. We love you. However, when we say crazy, like we mean crazy. Like generally,
yeah, we'll tell a couple fucking stories.
Yeah, like okay. So for example, one, the police should be called, and I got a good story about that.
Yeah, just wait though. We're not done with this. Then you can fucking one up all these people.
Yeah, well that.
That
ain't gonna be too hard.
Oh, I know what story you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fucking Dirty Harry. Your dad just told me about this. So anyways, this one guy says, I passed out in the hallway of an apartment building. Blocked. You're blocked. Peed on someone at a bar, got kicked out. Blocked. Bottle service with Tommy Lee in downtown Hollywood.
Well, if you're fuck Jesus Christ, if you're anywhere in like between downtown LA and
my foot.
What?
She just fucking dropped the name on it so hard it hurts.
Oh Jesus fucking! Haven't you been bitching about Brandon jokes for the past 4 episodes?
Yeah. Your hackiness is wearing off on me.
God, maybe I'm viral. I'm getting inside you.
All right, shut up.
All right.
Broke into an apartment pool, got the cops called, tried to run, but got caught when I tripped over. It was boring. Threw up in a strange girl's mouth. It's kind of funny, but
yeah, that sounds like
stand
something
around
you
with
might
my
have
fly
to.
open, maybe. Hang on, Brandon.
Hang on.
17-year-old me and 2 buddies hopped fence and climbed about 3/4 of the way up. Boring. These are boring stories. All right, go ahead and interrupt now.
Yeah.
So what were you gonna say about?
Yeah,
about,
Jesus
about the
Christ.
cops being called on you?
Oh yeah, if I had to listen to more of that. Anyhow, so Brandon, in his younger, dumber days, unlike now, the genius that sits before you all, I went to the bowling alley like a kid from Iowa does after a long day of work.
Keep this fucking story under like 8 minutes.
Oh no, it'd be like 7:50, 7:52 at the most. Anyhow, so before I started bowling, you gotta have a drink. It's just it's what you do. It's how you prep. So I had 3 pitchers of beer over the next 2 hours by myself, and so then I had to bowl with my dad later that night, and everything was going fine until I started bowling like shit. Could have been the alcohol on board. I'm not entirely sure. And I ended up kicking the ball return, and a piece of it flies off. And my dad, turned to be the helpful chap that he is, comes up, taps on my shoulder, and lets me know what I did wrong. Well, I'm drunk and angry at that point.
Like what you did wrong, bowling, or that you shouldn't have kicked that thing?
Probably all the above. And so I told him just mind his own fucking business, in a polite way. And he keeps at it, like bothers me again. Like, hey, Brandon, I'm like, God damn it, leave me alone. Does it a third time. Well, third time was a charm. Apparently that was the bell ringing in the background for me to turn around, start swinging on the old man. So I start going fisticuffs with my old man in the bowling alley while I'm drunk. And this is a Monday night, mind you. It's
that
not
means
even
punch people for anyone under 70. Brandon punched his dad. Joe Biden gets that reference, so you're good.
Yeah, but if my dad wasn't bothering me about being an asshole, I wouldn't have punched him. So, really, it's his fault. Well, anyhow, so some broad in the bowling lanes next to us, not even involved in the matter, decides to run her mouth to me. So I start yelling at her because I'm, still drunk, crazed asshole. Her boyfriend, chimes in. I run up on him. I start fucking throwing bones on him. And apparently I'm so drunk I don't land any of my targets, thankfully, because I'm built like a fucking bowling ball. And, eventually the cops get called. I'm crying somewhere. I'm outside the bowling alley, pissed off. Cops come, and they decide that I need to take a little ride to the hospital to cool off for the evening.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, which turned into a couple days in detox until I could convince the doctors that, no, I'm perfectly safe to go home. This only happens once every couple of years.
Jesus Christ, dude, that's bad. I would quit drinking. You shouldn't be drinking. You're not going to punch me, are you? Go fisticuffs, as you said.
What?
Broad, as you call that woman. Throwing bones. Are you sure this didn't happen in the 30s when alcohol was not allowed?
There's a solid chance it might have, but at the same time...
Yeah, you're a really old man. You're significantly older than I am, boomer.
Jesus, fucking Christ! I wish I had my shotgun right about now.
What are you gonna do? Blow off the 3 months you have on me, boomer?
Yeah. I'm gonna widen that gap.
Yeah, dude, that's bad. You should definitely quit drinking. That's terrible.
Well, fuck.
That's nothing to brag about. The hell you bragging for?
Well, I cut down to half a bottle a day. That's progress, buddy.
Have a bottle of this giant 60 barrel you wheeled in?
No, half a bottle, sir.
That's what I said. Half.
Yeah.
Half a barrel. Half a barrel a day, Brandon.
Your fucking Canadian hearing's not working too well, apparently. So what? You don't? You're a saint. You don't have any stories of your own?
No.
Oh yeah. Suddenly.
Oh shit! I got one. Yeah. Okay. So, going along with last episode, Dick Rivers was talking about when I used to play in a band and doing shows and shit. And God, I played in the drunkest band you ever imagined. We were so drunk and loud.
And you shit on stages, puzzle poops,
I did
right?
not. We're not going. I said it 500 times. I'm not saying it again. Okay, one more time. I didn't shit on that stage. I never took a shit on a stage. That's ridiculous. No one would ever do that.
Okay.
But anyways, I'll say what I did do on stage one time.
All right.
So Senior Dinosaur, when we were kind of in the middle of our time together,
Yeah.
the people that came out to see us weren't necessarily there for the music. They were there to see what the fuck we're going to do, what's going to happen, because something always did, and it was entertaining as fuck. And one time, we were headlining the zoo, a punk rock bar, metal bar in Winnipeg. It's gone now, but we were playing last. So the problem is, we didn't know we were playing last, you know? We thought we were on somewhere, and there was a ton of bands.
So let me guess. The pregame started
Right, exactly.
about an hour before you thought you were going to go on.
Oh God! And it was okay. It was in March, so it was really cold in Winnipeg, and we were wearing ugly Christmas sweaters. I don't know why, but we just dug them out and we're wearing them. So we show up at the zoo and we're just fucking drinking hard. I'm drinking this garbage beer they have up there in King cans called Axe. It's like 8% beer. I'm just pounding those down. God, I'm puking just thinking about it. And then I drank most of a bottle of lemon Bacardi rum. I'm wasted, okay? It was bad.
Yeah. How did you make it to your middle school the next day, Dave?
This is in the Osborne Village area of Winnipeg, where everything's all like trendy and whatever, and they have this Asian karaoke thing. And so we go in there, and we kind of sneak past the desk, all four of us, and plus our group of friends. So there's a whole shit ton of people, like 10. And we just go into somebody's room. They're singing "Hey Jude" in a private karaoke booth, and we just jump in there. We're singing with them, and it was whatever. It was fine. We leave. That's the last thing I really remember. Here's what happened according to the video I saw, because one of my friends, bless his fucking heart, this dude, phenomenal guy, Kyle. Shout out to that guy, the nicest fucking guy ever. Thank God it was him who videotaped it and not anybody else, because that would be all over the internet. This guy kept it to himself, and he's just like, hey, man, just so you know, I videotaped it. Look at this. And it was fucking...
well, please go on.
I was too drunk to set up. Like, normally I weasel out of setting shit up, you know. That's how I got the name Weasel.
It's another dad joke.
And they set up my amp, and I had a full Marshall stack, you know, and all that shit. And it was... I'm standing there fucking drunk, and these guys at the front, so they have the stage, and there's like maybe 3 feet in front of the stage, and then a gate, and everybody is behind the gate. Well, these guys at the front of that gate were like, hey Dave, we got a shot for you. So I'm like, all right, I get off the stage, I fucking waddle over to the gate. I'm like, all right, and I flop myself over the gate, face first on the ground, just pop right back up, do the shot, and then get back on stage. Holy shit! So the amps are ringing, we're ready to go. And I'm just stumbling all over the stage. And everybody's looking at me like, what the fuck is this going to happen? And then I just collapse, fall down into my Marshall stack amp, and it just falls on me. And you just hear this. And everybody's like, oh, what the fuck? That's not the worst part.
Okay.
That's not the worst. The worst part is someone set everything up again. Someone put it up again, and I'm standing there like a fucking asshole, just circling around like that, you know, just can't even stand upright. Someone sets it up again, and I just fall backwards into it again the second time. And then that's when someone in the band was like, all right, that's it. We're not fucking doing a show. And all those people that were there to see the band were like, all right, we got what we paid for.
Best 2 minutes of their life.
Yep. It was so fucking embarrassing. Now, after that, so whatever, I don't know. I just, apparently, like, I'm retracing my footsteps here. I don't actually remember any of this, but I got off the stage. My friend Stacy drove me to her house to, like, because she lived right by there.
Yeah.
And Stacy, gay girl, you know, I wake up the next day naked in her bed. I was like, oh shit. But it wasn't anything like that. She just threw me in her bed and was like fucking sleeping off. And I wake up naked. I'm like, oh God, what planet am I on? You know? She left me a note. She's like, and it starts off, ha 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 ha. It's like, and I lost my phone too, of course, right? So I don't have any way of communicating with anybody that I'm not dead or anything. And she writes a note saying, ha 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 ha, you passed out drunk, you fucking idiot. Like, you're in, just whenever you're ready, you could take off out the front door. Just lock the door handle. So I do. And I'm in Osborne Village. I got no jacket. It's in March, remember? I got no ugly Christmas sweater anymore. I'm standing out there in a t-shirt. And then I'm like, all right, I'll just get on the bus and go back to Charleswood, like, which is on the other end of town where I lived in. And I get on the bus and I'm just fucking freezing, right? And then I have to transfer at the big mall. So I get off at the mall, and I'm waiting for the bus, and it says 45 minutes. I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to wait inside the mall. So I wander inside, and remember, I lost my phone, right? So I go to the Apple store, and I decide to log on to Facebook to see what, what's going on. And I log in, and it's just nothing but fucking people talking shit. Like this drunk fucking idiot. The band, 2 guys in the band were like, we fucking hate Dave. Another guy in the band, Dylan, he was like, that was fucking awesome. And I was just, and then it all came back to me. I'm like, oh no, that really happened.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, that's why I'm so hungover and sick and everything on my body hurts. And I have this tuning peg sized welt in my forehead. And then I get on the bus and I go home and I just sit on my couch for like 2 days. I'm just lying there in misery and embarrassment. I was so fucking embarrassed. That's what I was. Because it's like, you know, when shit like that happens when you're a musician and you're 19, whatever.
Yeah.
You move on with your life. I was like 26.
It's kind of that train was about ready to pull in the station where you should permanently get off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like a 26-year-old doing that shit. It's like, what are you doing, boomer? Get the fuck off this. No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my drunk story. And there's video of that out there. And I hope Kyle doesn't have it anymore. But if he does, he keeps it to himself.
Oh, no. I'm seeing this when we go to Winnipeg, just so you know. Like, that is going to happen.
If he's still got it, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no. Kyle, after Portage Place, Kyle was our first stop.
Portage Place, stop number 1. Yeah, that's my drunk story. And I would like to say that I, took it in moderation, drinking after that. Like, I'd like to be able to say that. But the problem is, like, fuck the next show. I was just like, they used to call it Senor Drunkasaur.
Well, at least you stayed sober-ish until then.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. What a nightmare. But yeah, that's my drunk story. So you had at least the cops weren't involved in that.
Well, yeah. Like, if you're an Iowa boy, what good is it getting drunk at the bowling alley fighting your dad if the cops don't get called? I mean, it's just
that's a rite of passage there, isn't it? Like, you have to do that to get your diploma.
Yeah, it's like on National Geographic when you see these tribes out in the wilderness and they're painted up and shit and they're like all lubed up and wrestling each other out in the like 110-degree sun and shit like that, fighting for tribe dominance. Yeah, no, it's rite of passage in Iowa. Same thing, roughly.
I just like that I told you to keep it under 8 minutes, and then I just went on and on and on with my stupid story.
Yeah, well, you're not feeling well, so give you a break.
You just let me roll with it, huh?
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so I thought of a good wrestling name for you. So
wait, good based off of whose perspective?
Mine.
Okay, yeah, I thought that's where we're going with this. All right.
The only one that matters. So yeah, Brandon's gonna be a pro wrestler and he needs an angle, right? So what's do you have any characters or names or anything like that you've been kind of tossing around in your head?
But I have this one that I was thinking of called Adipose Rex. So it's a combination of Oedipus Rex from Greek literature and
Boring.
adipose, which is fatty tissue. See what I did there?
So you're fatty tissue Rex?
Yeah. I'm gonna come out and like a G-string and dance around, and be all sexy. It's gonna be a sexy male stripper gimmick. See, except I'm gonna be 300 pounds, so it's gonna be hilarious because I won't be sexy. See?
No, I get it.
Yeah.
It is hilarious. But that's very, you're a Republican. You're a Trump supporter. You're a build the waller. You're a lock kids up in cages kind of guy. You got to play that up a little,
Oh, well, thank you very much. Thanks for the compliments.
Yeah, that's why you bought that dog cage. You were like, how many kids can I fit in here?
Oh, no. I was thinking, how long can I keep Dave in here before he figures out how to open it up?
Depends. If I've fallen into my amp, several days. Can't believe I told that story. But anyways, I thought of a good wrestling name for you.
Okay, God, let's hear it.
So you know how you think you're losing your hair? You have hair dysmorphia, by the way. You got a full head of hair, thick locks. It's greasy, and so maybe that's why you think you're balding, because your hair is so greasy that it's like spread apart a little.
Well, yeah, your Canadian essence is like just overcoming me. That's why.
Yeah, you just slime up.
He's a fucking greasy boy. This one is. Oh.
Anyways, playing up your.
Yeah, so my hair. Yeah, thank you for pointing out my baldingness. So, what's the name?
Balding Eagle.
Jesus fucking
it's
Christ.
got the Americana in there. Here comes the Balding Eagle. And you come out just being like looking like this. You got nothing but an American flag Speedo on.
Okay, well, all right, I'm in so far. Keep going.
And you're just the Balding Eagle. You start going, caw, caw.
Okay, but
whatever noise they make.
No, I'm on board with this, but we're going to have to get Kenny Loggins to fucking write a goddamn righteous 80s fucking riff for my entrance theme.
Okay, yeah, like who's that guy that had one? Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, Rick Derringer. Real American. Yeah, that dude's still collecting. He could never work a day in his life, and that song alone is like allowed him not to work the rest of his fucking life. Guarantee it.
Isn't that fucking crazy how it works? And see, your dinosaur, we had one song on the radio, and it was only because we cheated our way through a contest. We made several fake profiles, and voted for ourselves. Osama bin Fartin wasn't a real person, everybody. But yeah, that was the only way we got on the radio, and yeah, we got no royalties or anything like that. But yeah, that's fucking wild. Off a wrestling thing? Like, how long ago was that, 80s?
Oh yeah, but you have to remember, like back then, I mean, they had no problem selling out the Pontiac Silverdome.
Yeah, I get
Hulk Hogan.
I get it, but like that kind of residual income, like, did they release that song as a single?
Oh yeah, it went on a wrestling album.
Oh, okay.
It still gets used in the arenas, like Hulk, still occasionally makes his appearances and shit like that. It was on the jukebox at goddamn Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, so every time that cocksucker gets played,
that cocksucker gets some money.
That cocksucker gets some money. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man, that's what I gotta do.
Yeah.
Write a shit song. I'll write your shit song,
Okay.
and then I'll make all the money, and you do all the work.
You'll come visit me in the. Geez, I forgot what the hell I was talking about. Oh, the Alzheimer's ward when I can't remember anymore, right?
Good Brandon joke there, Brandon.
I'm sorry, what joke?
Come on, dude. Come on, man.
God.
Podcasts are supposed to be funny. We're not being funny.
Well,
when you make jokes, anyways.
Well, I mean, if you can't laugh at Alzheimer's, what can you laugh at?
Sorry, what?
But then on the other side, if you can't laugh at Alzheimer's, what can you laugh at, right? God. Hook, line, and sinker. He was right there.
You're sacrificing sex for these jokes. No woman is like, oh, you know what I want to hear? Some Brandon jokes. Yeah. You say this shit, and they're like, oh, you know what? I think I'm good, Brandon.
Hey, if they say they want to be done dirty, I can't imagine getting done any dirtier than that. Oh, you thought you were going to show up for a good time. You're getting the Brandon jokes.
Christ.
Well,
anyways, Balding Eagle, that's your name. The Balding Eagle from whatever, Marshalltown, Iowa.
That's right.
Is that where you're going to get billed? From Marshalltown, Iowa.
Yeah, part of actual America, not like fucking LA, this goddamn liberal cesspool.
LA's just fine. It's got a little bit of everything. you can't really say it's one thing or the other when you've got everything here. There's how many people live in LA County? Like 15 million people or something ridiculous like that. 10 million, whatever.
Yeah, like 10 million. Yeah, spread out through the entire fucking place. Like every city, it's some like shithole part of LA you've never heard of, but they have 80 fucking thousand people in a 10 mile square radius.
So you'll find some Trump supporters in LA. You'll find them everywhere.
Yeah, no, there's like
Here.
There's like 700,000 people in LA County that voted for Trump. So like, even though it goes blue and everyone knows it's going to go blue, it's not like 95%.
That's a pretty big percentage. So if only 700,000 people, like if only that many people voted for Trump, it is overwhelmingly anti-Trump. But still, 700,000 people.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like significantly better for Democrats. It was like 1.3 or 1.4. But you're talking about out of 10 million people, like that's all that voted was a little over 2 million.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe everybody's secretly a Trump supporter, you know? How many total votes came out of LA County? Like 2 million?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, give or take.
Out of 10? So 20% of people here voted?
Yeah.
You don't know what direction this place actually is. If that's the voter turnout, 20%.
Well, I figure like out of that 10 million, some are going to be
low.
kids. Well, yeah, some are going to be kids. So let's say 10 to 15%.
Still, that's ridiculous. That's sad. If everybody voted, I hate to tell you this, Brandon, but if it was mandatory, you had to vote, the GOP would be a non-contender.
You might think so, but the fact that the Democrats have been so fucking loony lately, they are pushing people back towards voting Republican, and not necessarily because they're conservative or want to, but just because they can't stop being fucking dingbats.
So you're saying that Democrats are pushing people into the arms of the GOP?
Yeah.
No, it's the other way around.
Really? Because I remember after the whole Russiagate thing and the Mueller report hearings came out, what happened? Trump's numbers went up. Not exponentially, but they went up. And then the whole impeachment thing happened, and Trump's approval started going down. But as the whole hearings went on, then people are like, all right, this is more bullshit. And so, the people's opposition to impeachment went up, and Trump's approval started going up a little bit too.
Going up a little bit, meaning he's not quite at where there's as many people that hate him that like him, but there's still more people that hate him.
Well, right.
He's never had a majority.
Right, but here's the thing.
Support.
Right, but here's the thing. Even a majority support president in this country is going to hit maybe 53 to 55%. That is the insanely high popularity rate for a U.S. president.
Right, but he's never had that.
No, but he's still in the wheelhouse. And here's the thing. Right now, it's Trump's election to lose. Even as crazy as he has been over the past 3 years, he hasn't done enough to fucking push people away. And that's what the polling is showing. The polling is showing that they want the Democrats to fucking move on from all this shit. It's like, prove to us that we deserve your vote next November. Like, don't keep going with this impeachment bullshit. Don't keep going with like fake hearings with fake dossiers and fake information. Like, actually prove that you deserve to be in the White House leading this country and not Trump.
Well, I don't disagree with that, but I would say that the impeachment hearing is a different animal because he is obstructing that. Like, and that's one of the things he's impeached for, is obstruction of Congress, and he's doing that right now by not allowing witnesses. Who the fuck does that? Who says, okay, no one's allowed to exonerate me? Like, come on.
He didn't exclude anybody.
Yeah, he did. He's not allowing people to testify in the impeachment hearings.
No,
and that's what they're saying. They're not calling witnesses. Why wouldn't you?
Well, no. So individuals were subpoenaed, and individuals were told to disregard the subpoenas on the grounds of like confidentiality and things like that. Give me a
break.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so a rose by any other name. They're still told not to squeal on the president.
Right, but ultimately, if I tell you, it's like, hey, Dave, don't smoke a cigarette, and you smoke a cigarette, and you get cancer or whatever, is it? God.
No, it would be more like if my work didn't allow me to smoke cigarettes, and they said, "Are you smoking cigarettes?" And I go, "No." I'm like, well, let's ask your friend Brandon, and I said, "Nope." Hey, Brandon. If they ask you to come in and answer questions, don't do it. And they're like, how come you won't let us ask Brandon? It's more like that, if you're going to use the smoking analogy.
Right, but Trump has absolutely no authority to stop these people from testifying, though.
But
Like it, just like in that situation, they could have pushed right past you and come right up to me and asked a question. So it's up to those individuals whether or not to talk, because they, once they push their way past Dave and ask Brandon, hey, was Dave smoking? I have the option to either say nothing, I can give an answer that could be a lie, or I could tell the truth. I have three options. However, Trump himself did not tell them not to testify. As White House counsel that advised them on the grounds that their conversations with Trump and the information they obtained from those conversations could be considered in the highest regard as far as national security is concerned.
You're right, except one small element to that. They're saying, here's the excuse we're going to have for you to not testify. Because wouldn't a testimony from any one of these goofs exonerate him? If it works in his favor?
Well, if they were on the phone conversation, meaning they were able to hear both Trump and Zelensky on the call. They would have to hear the entire conversation. They couldn't just...
Or if they knew ahead of time that was what the motivation was to start with.
If they knew, but that's a problem. That's where we've been up to this point. If, ands, maybes, I thinks.
So fine, let's get somebody to say yes or no one way or the other.
Right, but that's not on Trump. The fact that they're choosing not to testify, that's on them. That has nothing to do with Trump. And if you want to argue that like Trump is strong-arming them, doing the whole mafia move, it's like, geez, you have such a lovely mom. It'd be a shame if she didn't make it to her 79th birthday. That would be one thing, and obviously that would be an impeachable offense, and I would support kicking him out of office. Unfortunately, that's not the case. He's just telling people to invoke their rights to not divulge national security information.
It's not national security. If they ask,
how do you know what it is?
If they ask, yes or no, was there a quid pro quo? Yes or no. If that's the question they ask, if they're not asking any other national security questions, if they ask that specific question, how is that a risk to American society, national security, etc.? It's not. It's directly related to this investigation, and whatever other questions that they have, they can very well say, "I'm not answering that." They could very well say, "I'm not answering anything that has nothing to do with the call to Zelensky." And by the way, I don't know if you saw this, but new evidence came out against Trump that they're going to hold against him.
Yeah, there's always new evidence. What is it this time?
Well, it's a note written by Giuliani's buddy, the one who was already arrested and indicted, saying that Trump has to get Zelensky to publicly state that they're investigating Biden. Which, by the way, outside of this whole thing, that's what that's about. The whole motivation isn't about getting Joe Biden. It's about saying we're investigating him. It's about saying that there's another country investigating Joe Biden, because that looks bad on somebody running for president.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the problem is that...
And that's what they wanted. And they withheld aid for
that. Allegedly, according to a handwritten note by one person that's alleging that this happened. But here's the thing. Not only was there no investigation instigated into Joe Biden or his family, the president, Zelensky himself, has said that there was no quid pro quo from Trump, that there was nothing as far as impropriety is in regarding an investigation into the Bidens. There was nothing done, and that's, you have the president of the United States saying that, the President Zelensky of Ukraine saying that, and those are the two people who were there for the entire call that can confirm what was or what was not said.
Okay, so all they need is for someone to testify with that confirmation under the threat of, if you're lying, you go to jail. If they have that, then this whole thing is over.
Here's the thing, Dave. If they had that evidence, they wouldn't need people to testify. That's the problem. They're going fishing here. They're trying to grab whoever they can. What did you hear and when? The people who actually would have been on that phone call and would have heard something have already testified. They went through that the first week. Yanovich.
What about John Bolton?
Sondland?
How come he's not testifying?
That dude's a fucking nut. Like, I don't have any love for that guy.
Okay, but he could exonerate Trump if he testifies, but he won't. Why?
I don't know. Was he on the entire call? Would he be able to confirm what or what was not said?
Why don't we figure that out? Why don't I don't know. Let's have him testify. Maybe he knows.
Okay,
one way or the other.
so Dave, you went to law school, right? Can you just start pulling people, like throwing subpoenas at people, if you think they might have seen something, or if you think
That's
they might?
exactly how it works.
No.
Yes, 100% yes is the answer.
Oh, okay. No, if you say you think he saw something, why would you think that? And you would have to say, oh, well, because we have an eyewitness and can put him at the park. But if you're just saying, well, we think he might know something, okay, how? Well, we don't know yet. Then that's called fishing. I'm not a legal expert, but you can't just go after somebody because you want them to testify. You have to be able to prove that they have something of value to provide as it relates to the case.
So if he does, though, if he has, Trump is saying that he did nothing wrong, right? And all these people around him are saying he did nothing wrong.
Yes.
And we know that for a fact. And it's like, okay, testify that information. If you're saying that you know that for a fact, then testify.
Right, then go after them, but not Trump.
They're trying. That's what I'm saying. That's what the whole concept of the subpoenas are for.
Right, but they also have the right to challenge the legitimacy of the subpoenas, to whether they actually have to testify or not. Just because you're given a subpoena doesn't mean 100% you have to testify. You can challenge a subpoena if you believe one's being issued to you improperly. That's the legal system protects everybody on all sides of the law, from the potential victims to the potential criminals to witnesses. Like, everybody has their protections to not just be snagged up and say, well, you got to talk, you got to do this. Yeah. Like, that's how this justice system works. Now, am I saying it's great? No. Would I love to have them come forward and testify? Yes, because I would like to, just put that to bed. Bring the 3 or 4 White House staffers, whatever it was, have them come forward, answer the questions, and so we can all just move on with our lives one way or the other.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It might be the booze talking, but I think I might have won that debate. Now I will concede. Well, I will concede that you are sick. You're definitely more on your game. The fact that you're actually sitting upright and not dead, I'm surprised by. So, like, literally, 90% of people I would have easily blown out of the water. But you sick, still a very formidable opponent. So, opponent. So
I think I did pretty shitty on that. You definitely won. I'll say that. You won that debate. But let's have it again when I'm not sick.
Or you could just stay sick.
Did you hear about this personal trainer named Jillian Michaels who went on some morning show and she was talking about Lizzo?
Oh yeah, Jillian Michaels is still hot.
Personal trainer, yeah.
Yeah, but
it's like a prerequisite.
Well, I'm sorry. Anyhow, but like, isn't that the gist of the story? Someone's looks.
Oh yeah. Anyways, yeah. Her looks don't matter. But yeah, she was talking about Lizzo and how we should be celebrating her music and not the fact that she's overweight.
Correct.
And she was very polite about it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I don't have the exact quote, but she was saying, why aren't we talking about her music? Her music is what's good. It's what we like about her. Why are we celebrating the fact that she's overweight? And then she kind of doubled down a little bit and said, it's not going to be so good if she gets diabetes. And she's facing mad backlash right now. Dude, like, everybody fucking hates this woman, calling her a fat shamer and all that shit.
Nobody, you know who it is? You ever see those pictures of rallies with politicians where the photographers like get real up close to the crowd and they take those certain angles and shit to make a 200-person crowd look like a fucking 1,000-person crowd? And then
it's like a Dave Weasel comedy show.
Right, exactly. And then you have someone in the back of the room who's laughing their ass off, and then they take an actual picture of how many people are actually there. So when it's the outrage mob getting mad, it's like 20 fucking people online, 17 of whom are fucking tweeting from their parents' basement.
Right.
The other 3 are down at their welfare office to re-up their fucking food stamps for the month, talking about, what a piece of lazy piece of shit you are and how dare you and blah, blah, blah. It's always a small, insignificant amount of people who don't even know who the fuck Jillian Michaels is, has no idea how many lives that she has actually helped change for the better.
As a personal trainer, yeah.
As a personal fucking trainer, yeah. She provides an actual service to this world.
That's the other thing too. Like, that's her professional opinion. She's not just some fucking Brandon sitting there being like, no fat chicks. She's a personal trainer who is trying to say that, like, okay, the fact that she's being celebrated as overweight is kind of counterproductive.
Right, and don't listen to the medical advice from the Valley Boys podcast. Go to your local doctor's office and ask your doctor if being a fat fuck is right for you. And I guarantee you, 5 out of 5 doctors will tell you to go fuck yourself and eat a goddamn salad and go run a mile.
Well, okay, so when you say fat fuck, you're talking about yourself and not Lizzo.
Hey,
You're kind of up there with Lizzo. So am I. I'm off the keto. I'm fucking.
Jesus Christ, I'm at like 33 or 34% body fat. Like, I am obese. I'm not like morbidly obese, but I guarantee you I'm not doing my long-term health any favors. I need to lose weight. But
you're not demanding that people celebrate your body.
At Christ, I don't even celebrate my body, let alone asking other people to do it. Jesus Christ, I have to see myself in the mirror. I'm like, these poor people, they didn't do anything.
You have to watch porn in the dark with no reflective surfaces in the room.
Yeah, well, I occasionally go old school and hit up the old spank bank. So yeah, there's a.
Really, you just close your eyes? You don't even wear glasses when you do it?
Oh no, I guarantee there's women listening to this podcast that have that they've been on the receiving end of one of old Brandon's tug jobs.
Oh,
anyhow,
oh God, I feel assaulted now. Me too, everybody.
I can make it official if you want. But anyhow, point being to all this.
God, no.
Jesus.
Continuing.
Sorry. The whiskey's taking old now, folks.
You had a good point there.
Yeah, well, we're drinking, if you can believe it. Anyhow, point being is, so I'm overweight. I don't want to end up with gangrenous legs that are going to get amputated and shit when I'm 60. I've gotten off my ass before. I've lost weight. I've gotten in shape. I have actually gotten pussy because of it, and it didn't smell like gym socks and fucking leftover meatloaf.
Oh, that's the other thing. It was her reply, dude. Her reply is what soiled the whole thing.
Wait, what was
Lizzo.
that? Yeah, no.
She goes, she posted on Instagram, she's like, if my name is in your mouth, so is my pussy. Enjoy the flavor. Dude, that makes me want to fucking puke. I'm not kidding. That's so gross.
It's not clever. It's not funny. It's not intellectual in any way whatsoever.
Like, I get it if somebody were to just outright call her fat and be like, oh, she's fat, why should we listen to her? Or something like that.
Right.
Then, yeah, fuck that person. And say, say something gross to them. But she wasn't fat shaming her. She's not. She's more addressing a cultural issue that we have where we're looking at artists as like it's condescending to be like, oh, look, this person is fat and it's awesome. It's not awesome. What Jillian was saying was it doesn't matter what they look like. It matters what they sound like, which is what we should be celebrating in the first place. And I fucking agree with that.
Right. If you got me on there trying to sing Lizzo songs and shit like that, you're not going to sell a single record. People will be chucking money at me to stop singing, but that's going to be about it. But yeah, she's a great singer. Like, I'll give her that. She's talented. I'm not trying to take that away from her.
New man on the Minnesota Vikings.
Yep. Whoever the fuck that
Someone
guy
was
is.
singing that on Call of Duty.
God, fucking Call of Duty. Yeah. If you never want to leave middle school, hop on Call of Duty.
Yeah, you'll find me there, flashbanging my teammates. Anyways.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have to talk about that a little later on. But anyhow, so being fat myself, and when I say fat, I mean, like I said, 33, 34% body fat. I need to fucking lose weight, at least 30 pounds to start with. I don't take offense at anything Jillian Michaels said. As a fat American, I don't take any offense, right? So what she's trying to say is that regardless of like age, gender, in anything, race, that if you are a bigger human being, you are at a higher risk of developing diabetes. And she's right. And I don't think that message should be I don't think that message should be euphemized. That one wasn't intentional, folks. I'm sorry. But point being is she's absolutely right, and this is a health thing. Because it doesn't only affect Lizzo, it affects all of her fans that see, oh, it's cool to be 300 pounds. It's a status symbol thing, which it has been throughout history before. But the problem is you're going to create a new generation of people who weigh 340 pounds. They are going to have health issues. And not only that, it affects every single American who owns health insurance, because obesity is slowly becoming the #1 killer of people in hospitalizations in this country. and that's driving up healthcare costs. So it fucks everybody. So it's not just Lizzle. It's not just that small 1% of fucking people who get pissed off online. It affects everybody in the long haul.
Okay, first of all, it's Lizzo, not Lizzle. But
You fucking kids and your goddamn weirdo names, whatever.
I don't think they're saying it's cool to be 300 pounds. I think the message is it's cool to be comfortable in the skin you're in. Not necessarily go be 300 pounds. It's no matter what size you are, whatever you look like, be comfortable in your own skin. I think that's the message, which sort of transcends obesity, like you said, all the other things, race, gender, whatever. And maybe that's where some of the backlash is coming from.
It could be, but it's something that still needed to be said, like flat out.
I don't disagree that it's not. It certainly isn't cool to be 300. I think she's more than that, but like whatever. Well, I mean, there was that one video of her at the Lakers game, dude, and she's got the dress on, or she cut the ass out, and that ass, man, like. No, I'm the fat shamer, but whatever. Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't know shit. I'm fat too, but I don't. I don't think the message is be 300 pounds. It's be who you are, be yourself.
Okay, and I hate to keep referencing previous podcasts, but let's go back to my 600-pound life. That's where some of these people are going to fucking end up. If you push that message, this is just who I am. I eat 3 boxes of cereal in the morning for breakfast and fucking 2 dozen cartons of eggs. I'm just comfortable with who I am.
It's a trough of Frosted Flakes.
A fucking trough.
Brandon.
They can put one of those like feeding buckets on these people like they do with horses and just hang it around their fucking neck. And let them go
show
to town.
some sensitivity, Brandon. They eat with a spoon in each hand. Fuck. See, I am an asshole. Whatever.
Yeah, well, we're both fat too, so it's not like we're both out of our fucking element on this one. But
we're not losing steam, by the way. We're just being a little quieter because it's now 11 o'clock at night, and my neighbors are stirring. We're outside in the backyard. Sounds a little better out here, despite the airplanes and the helicopters and the possums.
Yeah, they're lucky. They're getting the first listen to the Valley Boys podcast, buddy.
Oh, yeah, they're our first subscribers. By the way, thanks to everybody who has subscribed to us. We have been kind of scraping the top, not quite hitting the number 1 spots on the Apple podcast charts for comedy stand-up in Canada, the U.S., England, Australia. We haven't hit the number 1.
Hell, even France. And I don't know how that happened, but all right. Well, thank you to the frogs for showing. What?
If you're gonna at least reference people from Quebec, not France, in such a derogatory way. Shout out to people from Quebec. Love you, my grenouilles.
I'm not even.
That means frog in French.
Yeah, I'm not even from Canada, but I know Canadians hate fucking Montreal. So
no, Montreal's cool. They hate Quebec City.
Oh,
Quebec's
okay.
shitty. No, dude, like
the Quebecois.
Montreal is fucking awesome because you can get by speaking English there. Anywhere else you speak English, they're gonna be like, "Fuck you."
They look at you angrily, like you just fucked their
and
sister.
They're just rude. It's a rude culture.
Hey, Dave, you should have another cigarette.
Yeah. Catch some more pneumonia.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'll look at you like you fucked their sister angrily because they're worried that you may have fucked their sister, and they're angry that they didn't get a chance to do it first.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's Quebec. Just kidding, everybody. No, no one's listening in Quebec. It's not in French. They're very, very pro-French.
Oh, it will allow me to speak to our friends over in Quebec City.
So Brandon had a good idea, which is pretty shocking to everybody. But he wants to play a game called Florida Man or California Man.
That's right.
So how does it work, Brandon?
All right, well, this is quite simple, actually. I'm going to read a story to you, and you are going to tell me whether that gentleman or woman, because we champion equality on the show, are from the state of California or Florida.
Sounds good to me. What do you got? What do you got?
All right. Well, our first story comes from a town where recently they've had an outbreak of people who are taking razor blades, like you would find in a box cutter, something like that, and they were gluing them to the underside of people's car door handles. And so that when people would go to grab their car,
Oh fuck! They just get cut up.
they fucking got done dirty.
Oh man, you can get nerve damage and shit.
Nerve damage. You
Cut
can
off your fingers.
Yeah, you can get fucking tetanus.
What if someone's trying to open the door with their dick?
Who would ever do that, Dave?
I don't know. Someone doing some dick exercises.
Yeah, some weirdo. Anyhow, so
So what do I gotta do? Guess the state? California or Florida?
that's right.
Florida, buddy.
That's a big negatory, sir. That was in the lovely town of Temecula, California. Temecula, California.
Ah shit. So what happened with them? Like, did they get caught or what?
The hell if I know. I haven't heard about any arrests yet.
You just got the headline.
Well, and who, we'll see if they ever catch them. But
That's a fucking dick move.
well, Temecula is Temecula. No one ever talks about Temecula unless people are fucking gluing razor blades to the inside of car door handles.
When I was a kid, I loved doing dumb shit. Skateboarding around and
Sure.
breaking shit. Never anything like that would hurt someone.
Yeah, that's just,
Like, dude, I wonder if it was an adult, because that seems like an adult thing to do. Like a kid would maybe do it once if they're a piece of shit and don't know any better, whatever.
Yeah.
But to have a whole string of it happening, that's an adult, right?
I would think so. Either someone who needs psychiatric help that are off their meds, or they never went into that whole tying firecrackers to a cat's tails, which I never did.
Hey, you
Phase
better fucking not. We talked the last 3 podcasts. We talked about people doing shit to cats, and I can't fucking handle it.
No, goddamn, no. I tolerated my fat shit pumpkin. This fat fucking cat that would turn around and bite you for no goddamn reason, just because you were trying to rub his backside.
Still a precious kitty.
Right, and I tolerated that. I didn't tie firecrackers to him. That's what I'm saying. This asshole in Temecula probably skipped over that phase in his life. He's like, oh, I know what
I never
I'll
had
do.
that face. Never had that phase of dying a firecracker to a cat. Never wanted to hurt a cat, Brandon.
Well, right, and all we do is shit and piss in public. This asshole apparently decided that.
Yeah, it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, this asshole decided now he wants to fucking glue razor blades to people's car door handles. Anyhow,
By the way, there's no we in the shit part of it. You're the only one who shits in public. I don't do that.
I said shit and piss.
I piss in public, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's nowhere to go to the bathroom, which is California. Like, there's no public restrooms here. But anyways, okay, so the next story, what do you got?
All right, so the next story, there is a man who was hanging off the light posts at intersections and shitting on cars as they passed.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to go with California, man, and it was in Reseda, and it was you.
That is incorrect in this particular instance because it didn't involve a bike path in Encino. No, sir, this was Florida. You're 0 for 2, good buddy.
Florida man hanging. What was he hanging off of?
The light post in the intersection. Apparently, he climbed up there and then got
That's
up.
hard to do, man. So he just climbed up and was holding on to it and pulled his pants down and shit.
Yeah, so
he actually hit a car.
Well, apparently, or at least tried.
Good for him, man. That's hard to do.
A for effort. Even though he wasn't invited to the Olympics, I'll give you a 8.7 for that Nadia Comaneci drunken balance shit routine.
That would make the Olympics worth fucking watching. And we're getting it here soon, right? Like what 2024 or some shit?
2024.
God,
yeah.
I was not looking forward to that from the minute that they introduced that. But if they had hang off light posts and take shit on cars, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll watch a little bit of this.
Well, I mean, if they were going to do the
some car shitting.
Oh yeah, if they're going to do
shit on somebody's base model white BMW.
No
turn signals.
That needs to happen.
Oh. Yeah, this guy's kind of a folk hero.
Yeah,
he's shitting.
Yeah,
not throwing cinder blocks or anything.
No, just shit.
It's gross.
Yeah.
But if I was driving and I saw that, and I saw a dude hanging off of that, and he had his pants down, and he took a shit, and it hit my windshield, I'd be like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. On one hand, it's really gross and a major inconvenience for me, but also great aim, dude.
Well, it's fucking hilarious, and it helps break up the monotony of everyday life,
I wonder what he was told in high school what he would be. Again, I'm assuming it's an adult, right? Like,
oh, yeah. No. By far, this guy looks crustier than your ex-girlfriend's panties on the floor.
But he's still got to be pretty athletic. That takes athletic ability to climb up one of those things.
He looks like one of those like little wiry dudes. Like there's not much muscle there, but like he could probably climb a fucking tree like no one's goddamn business.
Again, see, this game could also be called meth or mental illness.
Well, again, most people think of Florida or California first. So
and bless people's hearts with mental illness. Nothing against you guys or them or whatever, but that's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got one more?
Oh yeah, we got one more, and because this is our first game, and you weren't prepped for this tonight, I am going to be generous here, and this is a winner takes all. So if you hit this story right here, you fucking win whatever.
Did I get them both wrong?
Yes, yeah. I
Okay.
realize you're sick and drunk, but yes, you're fucking horrible at this game. But this is your chance at redemption. It's your shining light. Are you prepared?
I think so. Yeah. What do you got?
For California or Florida man? All right. So in this final story, a YouTube couple had placed a bicycle in their own yard, and they left it unchained, unattended, lights out, and they waited to see if somebody would come by and try to steal the fucking bike. And when somebody did come by and try to steal the fucking bike, both of them popped out of the fucking house and had baseball bats and started wailing away like Ken Griffey fucking Jr. and Frank Thomas on these motherfuckers. and ultimately, because of it, ended up arrested because, well, they fucking filmed it and put it online. Now, I ask you, good sir, do you believe that this story comes from California or Florida?
Okay. My gut tells me that's something that would happen in Florida, but the fact that they were arrested and charged for that tells me California. So I'm going with California.
Ding 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 ding
Oh, I
ding
won
ding
the whole
we
shit,
dun da da dun dun da 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 da
What the
da
fuck were they charged
da
though?
da.
Like, there's no entrapment there. Like,
No,
I get it. I get
exactly.
it. It's a shitty thing to do.
Yes.
Someone in my family did that, by the way. I'm not going to say who, but back in the day, someone in my family did that with my grandma's TV. Exact same thing. Put it in the front yard and went and practiced karate on the people that went and took it. But
yeah, just for everybody out there who doesn't know anybody from Canada or know anything about Canada, it's basically Mississippi with -40 and snow. Just so you know.
I wouldn't say Mississippi. I would say like Oregon. Everybody's like Oregon.
Do you realize how many Winnipeg stories you've already told on
Okay,
this
well,
fucking podcast?
Winnipeg is the Florida of Canada.
All right, well, what about Saskatchewan?
That's the Iowa of Canada.
Okay, what about Alberta?
Texas.
Okay, what about Ontario?
It's New England.
Nova Scotia?
Maine. Like the main part of Maine part of New England.
All right, what about Newfoundland, Labrador? Newfies.
It's a combination of Alaska and Hawaii.
That is pretty
Alaska,
impressive.
the isolation. Hawaii, the chill attitude.
Fair enough. Prince Edward Island.
I'm going to go with Vermont.
All right, just so you know, you motherfuckers, you're going to learn something on this podcast every week whether you want to or not. All right, well, and then you get up, you have Yukon Territory and Nunavut and all that.
Yeah, anyways, so going back to that story, if they put the bike out and someone steals it and they defend their property, like, they had every intent. Their intentions were ill. They had bad intentions, but at the same time, they didn't do anything to make them steal property from them.
Right.
Was the bike on their property?
Yes. Yeah, they put their bike on their property and waited.
I don't know. Wouldn't they get off on a technicality then? Because, like, yeah, sure, they had ill intent, but does that really matter in that situation? Because the other person committed the crime. It would be like, let's say if you left a safe open in a convenience store and somebody takes the money in it and you beat them up. It's like, who cares if you left a safe? They're the ones who stole the fucking money from you.
Yeah, it's not their money. No, and I 100% agree with you on that. They deserve to get the shit kicked out of them.
I don't know about that. I don't think they deserve whatever. But
yeah. Well, it's a fucking deterrent, I'll tell you that.
At the same thing, this is At the same time, this is America.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's your property. You could defend it. That's the end of it, isn't it?
Well, well, you have to remember
that they get charged, and there's people who shoot people who trespass or whatever the fuck. Like there was that dude in Florida. Speaking of the game, he was harassing this woman in a parking lot. He's yelling at her for parking in a weird spot. Her boyfriend comes out. He sees this dude yelling at his girlfriend and his kids, so he pushes him down. The dude pulls out a gun, shoots the guy dead, and the guy gets off scot-free.
Jesus Christ, how? Like on what? Like what?
Stand your ground.
Oh, fucking Jesus
right?
Christ.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, how does that happen? And that's how I guess it was California. But like, how are you able to murder someone for pushing you away when you're being a psychopath, and you get in trouble? I guess that's what it is. You had ill intent. Somehow they were able to prove that, which I don't know how. Oh, you said they were putting it on YouTube. So there you go.
They're making content for their YouTube.
Yeah, be careful with that shit, people. Social media, it'll be your downfall.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, but like the problem I have with it is it's their property. Like literally, like the property their house sits on, their bike, which is their property, and to me, they have the fucking right to defend it. And it, like if
I don't disagree with that.
It's
not like they shot him. They hit him with baseball bats. That's a little much. But they, like you have that right. That's part of being American, isn't it?
Well, most of America, but you have to remember we live in California, and much like Canada, we share the same initials, CA.
Yeah, dude. In Canada, you gotta prove that person was gonna fuck you up before you can actually hit someone. I had a break-in, right? Someone broke into my apartment. Second story on an apartment, which hardly ever happens.
Yeah.
But they broke in. They stole all my guitars. They stole my TV. They stole my cell phone that I left at home like an idiot. They stole my computer, all that shit. And I was worried they were going to come back because they didn't take a bunch of other shit, like a big-ass guitar amp, whatever.
Yeah.
And so they kept a bat in the house. And my dad, the cop, said, "Oh, you can't do that. Like, if they come in and you hit them, you're in trouble." I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. He's like, "Yeah. So you got to say, I was exercising in my house, swinging the bat around." Well, and it's shitty. It's shitty, but it's true. Like, because I imagine cops in Canada, and they're like, "What happened here? This guy broke into my house, so I hit him with a bat." The cops are like, "Damn it! Why'd you have to phrase it that way? Why didn't you say I was exercising in my house?" Because at that point, they have to prove that you were not doing that behind locked doors in your own house.
Right, and that's why there needs to be like a middle ground for shit like that. To me, if someone's breaking in your house and you use any means to defend yourself, I really don't have a fucking problem with it, man. Even if somebody gets shot, I don't care if it's with a shotgun. I don't care, man. If someone's breaking in your house and they're not supposed to fucking be there, you have no idea what they're there for. They could be there to steal shit. They could be there because they're fucking methed out of their head and they want to kill you and rape your wife. You don't know what the fuck they're going to do. I don't want to wait. I don't want to sit there and like make tea for them and have a dialogue at the table about why the fuck they're there.
Dude, I get it. And I don't really disagree with that. But the question further from that is like, let's say if someone breaks in your house and you're standing there with a gun and they fucking turn around and run away.
Yeah.
Can you still shoot them even though they're on your property? Like you shoot someone dead in the back of their head. Is that right?
No, that's not right. Now, the exception I would make is I would keep that gun trained on them, make sure they fucking keep running, and I would call the fucking cops or have my wife call the cops, or whoever's in the house. But I would keep that fucking gun trained and make sure that they don't come back until the cops show up.
Right. Yeah.
And then you do what you have to do. You call and get the locks changed, new security system, whatever. But like, no, it's not right to fucking shoot. If they're running away, that's the whole point. You want to deter people from committing crimes, or at least that should be the point.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. If you're breaking into somebody's house while they're home, while they're asleep, to me that sets precedent that they're willing to hurt you. That is proof that they're there to take what they want.
Right.
It's no different than somebody coming in with a shotgun and robbing a store, and the guy says, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," and the clerk hits him in the head with a crowbar. Let's say.
Yeah.
Should that clerk get in trouble? Fuck no. I see that because that clerk had reasonable assumption that he's gonna get fucked up, and it's the same thing in somebody's house. If someone breaks into your house while you're at home, the assumption is they're gonna hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah, and they deserve to
I
get
don't
fucking lit up like a goddamn Christmas
Well,
tree.
and that's kind of the problem with the whole gun culture thing. And I know we're opening up a whole other can of worms.
Well, no, because this is an isolated incident we're talking. We're talking about home break-in all day long. Fucking light them up like a goddamn Christmas tree. The 4th of July, whatever fucking phrase you want to use. If you're in your own home and someone breaks in, I don't give a fuck what they're there for. I don't want to find out what they're there for. I have no intention of talking to them. I'm going to incapacitate you any way possible. If that means like shooting out your kneecaps or fucking taking your face off your head, I'm going to fucking stop you from taking my shit, hurting me or my family.
Right. But I feel like it's the justification isn't that they're taking your shit, because taking your shit doesn't justify murder. The fact is they're in your house while you're there. If they break into your house while you're gone, say they like the people who broke into my house, they knew I was going to be gone at a certain time, which is why the cops were like, no one breaks into a second-story apartment at 3:00 in the afternoon unless they know you're going to be gone, you know?
Yeah.
And so they knew I was not going to be there. And if I walked in and, let's say, killed them all, that's different than if I killed them all while they broke in while I was sleeping. Because those are two very different crimes. Someone breaking into a house while they think the owner's gone, they're there to steal your shit. Someone breaking into the house while you're sleeping, most likely they're there to steal your shit. But...
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, if
there's reasonable assumption that they're going to hurt you to get your shit.
Okay, here's the thing. If someone's breaking into my house and I see they got my TV, some jewelry, whatever, they got that shit in their hands. All right.
You got jewelry?
I'm just saying. Oh no, this is a fucking hypothetical. Nothing that didn't cost $5 at the fucking prop store. Anyhow, but if I catch them with my shit in their hands, I know what they're there for. They're there to steal. So either they're desperate for money, they're fucking methed up, whatever. I'm gonna keep a gun trained on them. Right? I'm not going to fucking take it off them, but I will tell them to drop my shit and get on the fucking ground. And if they don't do that...
Anything but compliance.
Anything... Well, okay, again, other than running away. If they run out of my apartment, fucking fine. But if they don't comply with me, they fucking run at me, best goddamn believe that they're going to fucking catch a gut full of buckshot.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with that. As much as I'm against guns... it's different when they're when it's actually used in self-defense.
Right, but that shit.
And again, that the whole gun debate is a separate issue. Let's say it's not a gun. Let's say it's a crowbar. Let's say you hit them with a crowbar.
Goddamn broomstick, right? Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem with defending yourself when someone's breaking into your house while you're sleeping. God, I have a 2-year-old child.
That I can't godfather.
Right. Well, you're the godmother.
Oh.
You and Mary. Mary's the godfather. You're the godmother. But in reality, the executor of my estate's going to handle everything.
Jesus Christ. Just so you know, when she gets...
Who's my brother?
Yeah. No, I'm going to fucking take her to Vegas, and we're going to sit there and suck down dollar margaritas and fucking play penny slots all day.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Aunt Brandon taking her to Vegas.
Yeah, we're... Oh, God, yeah. I can only imagine the days ahead.
Dude, you're my age, so I was 33 when she was born, which means that you'll be 54. We'll be 54 when she's 21. That's not bad.
Oh, well, no.
Take her to Vegas and...
Well, yeah, because then she can bring all her friends along and old Brandon...
No. Old Brandon is going to be even older.
Well, yeah, I'll be older, but I'll be richer, and I can afford Viagra.
Don't talk about my daughter's future friends that way.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter how old you get as a guy. Like, you have a chance 21-year-old pussy.
I don't want to fucking have this conversation. Gross. Let's go back to murdering people.
You're right. Let's keep this civil. Anyhow, so...
I think that's it. I think we're good.
All right.
We got enough time. So signing off from Reseda, California at 11:30 p.m. Drunk, sick, loud, neighbors slamming doors. Whatever, fuck him.
All right, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for listening to the Valley Boys Podcast. We hope you continue to listen to the Valley Boys Podcast because 2020 is going to hold in a whole lot of cool shit for our listeners this year.
Yeah, we got something on the horizon some big shit happening for us, which is kind of crazy because we just started this podcast. But we'll be talking about that probably on the next one. In the meantime, keep hitting that subscribe button. I guess you can only do it once, but tell your friends to do it. Like us on Facebook and the internet and the Twitter and whatever the fuck. You know where to find us. My name's Dave Weasel. Join with me is my best friend Brandon Collins. We're the Valley Boys. Good night.
And peace out.
I got my piece out. My name's Brandon. I got a tiny dick. My name's Brandon.
Wait, what?
My name's Brandon Collins. I have a little tiny raccoon dick.
Jesus Christ.